welcome to Webgains Accelerate 2021. We're here today to explore how we can help to accelerate e-commerce. We're at a really interesting juncture in history, as an economy, as a business, and indeed as humans. And off the back of a dramatic year, our industry has proven itself to be robust. E-commerce is the future of retail, and this has been accelerated by COVID, the COVID time machine. So at Transform last September, we took time to reflect on the future of affiliate marketing and where it sat in the e-commerce ecosystem. But over the next 3 days, we're going to host a series of 30-minute talks really focused in on how to accelerate your e-commerce growth. We're going to showcase a range of different brands. We're going to look at best practice tips and tricks, and really explore how technology is transforming the way that we shop and our marketing landscape, and how we grow our businesses, and define the role of affiliate marketing in that growth. So I'm very pleased today to welcome three members of our team, give us a real kind of breadth and depth across not just the business but also the industry as a whole. We have Richard here, Webgains CEO, who brings a wealth of knowledge in his own right, from inside the affiliate industry, but also the wider context. We also have Alona, the UK MD here at Webgains, and Alona's worked across performance marketing throughout her career, now focusing very much on affiliate, but understanding where that sits in the mix. And Jessi, our head of Edge, SME offering, to give us a real perspective on the SME kind of market landscape, to hear some of the pitfalls, but also the success stories from our Edge portfolio. So welcome to all of you today. Thank you ever so much for joining us to open Webgains Accelerate.
Thanks, Natasha.
Thank you. So Alona, I'm going to start with you. I want to talk a little bit today about the broader kind of market landscape, and we've sort of dubbed 2021 the year of affiliate marketing. I think it won't just be the year. I think this is really time that the channel will sort of skyrocket, and just interested to know from you why we're at that kind of zenith, why there's a tipping point, why affiliate marketing is really having its day right now.
Thanks, Natasha. I think maybe first of all, data suggests that it is. We've been seeing quite a substantial growth across the many brands and publishers on the network, and it's not just our network who reports this increases in volumes and in revenue. I think we are at the point where affiliate channel becomes much more mainstream, and more brands realize that it is actually a very accessible channel, very affordable, and also extremely effective. If you think about kind of prior investments to the channel, these are pretty much minimal compared to even paid search or SEO, or not to mention all the traditional channels like PR, billboards, TV. With relatively small budgets, you can kind of jumpstart your affiliate program and get access to millions of visitors. The other bit here is that I think you've mentioned this tipping point, and the tipping point which we are seeing are coming actually from affiliates who are becoming massive brands on their own, and they are in top 100 most visited websites within the UK. They are kind of pioneering the e-commerce categories. So this is an opportunity for big and small brands to get into relationships with publishers who essentially are opening the doors to millions and millions of customers and people actually who are ready to spend money. So yeah, a lot of things suggest that this is the year, and maybe even a decade of affiliates.
Yeah, thank you, Alona. It's interesting, isn't it, to sort of think back to, what publishing was, and content was king in kind of the 90s, but it still is very much the case. And And I think looking at, you know, what's happening in publishing and the power now that individuals kind of wield, it's fascinating to see how that's really opened up the market. I mean, Richard, what do you see as being the trends in e-commerce, maybe in the kind of wider economy over the next few years?
Well, if you look at what happened before, if you take a year ago when we were about to go into lockdown, the industry was growing anyway. You know, it's convenience, and it's the ability to transparency of pricing, and the ability to search through search engines and everything else. You know, and just it was moving anyway. However, COVID and lockdown has been the great accelerator. It's been the thing that's really transformed so many people to trust, if nothing else, just things to arrive on your doorstep. That seemed to be the big thing that I found when we were locked in our house. And I wasn't really, actually, I have to admit, even though I'm CEO of an affiliate network, I didn't really buy much online, because I just could never be bothered to wait for anything to arrive or turn up, or you get a thing through the post box saying, oh, it's not here, you've got to go and get it. And you know, that was just inconvenient. So I'd much rather go into a store at the time. So two things have happened. One is that last mile delivery thing seems to be solved. Things are turning up when they say they're going to turn up. They're using much better GPSs on their vans to find out exactly where things are, and there's lots of repeat purchasing. So that last mile delivery thing seems to have really worked, and the trust in things are going to turn up, they're not going to get conned. The returns works. That's been a transformational change for people, and not just, you know, your usual digital shoppers, but everybody at every level, in every demographic. So that's been a big change. The other thing is that the distribution of availability of products it's just amazing. You can, long are the days where you think, oh, is that shop online now, or is that product online now? You can find everything you want, anything you want. Amazon's driven that, eBay's driven that, but then the brands themselves have also caught up with the way that they distribute and deliver their products. So there's an infinite amount of choice now, and that's really been a change. The other thing is that the fact that there's been a restriction in supply of the things that we normally spend our money on over a year would be travel, and we would restaurants, and we'd be, you know, hotels, and all of those lovely things that we do, and buying gifts for each other, and wine and everything else to go to dinner, has been taken away. So you know, there's less things to buy. So people have been the e-commerce and the retail and things like that have really benefited in the last 12 months, and that probably isn't going to change a huge amount. Yes, of course, there's been really, really tough times with some brands, and some employees have gone into furlough, but they have been maintained. You know, they have been receiving money, and they have been spending money. So there's sort of the money velocity in the economy has carried on, and it's meant that actually, in reality, what's happened is there's been this boom over the last 12 months of consumer spending, consumer confidence. People are, you know, they spend their hours awake. We're a consuming species, and therefore people are still buying, and that's certainly what we've seen. And over the last 12 months, we've seen a kind of sort of swim lanes of the kind of things that people are buying, so fitness equipment, garden equipment in the summer, things for indoors, softwares, but not very much fashion, because obviously no one's going out. It's been a really interesting time. And where do I see it for the next 12 months? It will carry on. You know, it will carry on. People will come back as we go through the vaccination period, which will happen at one time, whether you believe or not the program of vaccinations. You know, that we will be vaccinated and we will get through this pandemic era. And what we'll be left with at the end of it is a pretty strong situation where the savings rates of everybody have gone up. So there's people who've got money in the bank. The supply of goods isn't in a hurry going to get better. So there'll be more money chasing less things. Prices will go up. But consumer confidence will really improve. And I think we'll see that they're going to be very good times ahead. And the fact that e-commerce and online retail is already ahead, we'll see that that's really where, you know, brands need to put their money, and affiliates can start to work with them and work with us as a network. I think we're looking at some pretty bright futures ahead for the next 2 or 3 years.
Thank you. That's a very hopeful view of the future, and great to kind of hear that kind of perspective on it. I think, Jessi, I'm just going to turn to you now. That was a great kind of perspective for the broader economy. In terms of the industry, in terms of Webgains, are there any exciting developments that you're sort of you're looking forward to seeing in the affiliate channel over the next few sort of months and indeed years?
Well, I look after the self-managed programs, and a lot of those are small to medium-sized businesses, and I think it's been interesting to see that as commerce goes online, a lot of smaller businesses who perhaps haven't run an affiliate program before have woken up to the fact that there's perhaps, you know, this channel that they are not very familiar with. There's a lot of talk about influencers, and that perhaps is kind of the gateway to get people into affiliate marketing. And, you know, it's natural to know that leveraging other people's audiences, building relationships, all this stuff is, you know, going to help you. But we've been looking at also our portfolio of clients and kind of looking at, well, what's working and what isn't working. And what we've noticed is that a lot of small businesses have a very, very limited understanding of the full opportunity, the full spectrum of what affiliate marketing can actually be and what different publishers they could leverage with their program. So we've put effort into building a Webgains Academy, which we've just revamped so that it's much more focused in getting people straight off the ground. There's a lot of information out there. So we've really wanted to focus it on the, like, these are the main things that you need to know. Here's how to get started and here's how to find more. So really kind of expanding that understanding. I also think that in many ways, affiliate marketing as an industry is sort of based on people who are experts in affiliate marketing. So people who have worked in the industry a long time, who have these relationships already, but then self-managed, you know, small clients or small brands come to the network and they don't really have this knowledge and this understanding. So, for example, they don't know who they should be reaching out to, and, you know, giving information is just one step. It still needs a lot of work. So, for example, on our platform, we have the affiliate discovery tool, which really like does the heavy lifting. Is the technology that goes and says, look, here's what your brand is about. Here's the publisher that would work for you. And you don't need to have that knowledge. You don't need to build it as an advertiser yet. You can just tap into that. So I think those are kind of the exciting things that I can see small businesses getting into affiliate marketing, and also the kind of things that we've been able to do to really help them get on board and get them into the channel. And we really love seeing these smaller brands to really find success with affiliate marketing and really thriving in these uncertain times.
Yeah, thanks, Jessi. I think you're absolutely right. I think, you know, when we were sort of talking last year, there was a lot of, you know, conversations, certainly from a marketing perspective, about educating small business users in terms of, you know, using affiliate marketing as a channel. And there's a lot of kind of fear, and there was some resistance from some of the research that we did. And we want to kind of demystify, I guess, what affiliate marketing is, because it's seemingly complex, but actually a very sort of straightforward sort of approach. And I think the Academy gives people a really good starting point for their sort of journey. So thanks for signposting people to the Academy. Definitely kind of worth checking out the refreshed Academy, which looks fantastic. And there's a wealth of content in there for people to tap into. But Alona, do you think, you know, in terms of the opportunities for SME businesses, do you think affiliate marketing is a channel that only really works for bigger brands? What are your views on that?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a perfect channel for small and medium-sized businesses. It's probably one of the channels where you, in many cases, you wouldn't even need to have an integration cost associated with getting on board and onboarded into some of the biggest publishers out there, like Top Cashback, Quidco, various voucher code sites, various closed groups, and many others, and also the influencers. Yes, perhaps it's a little bit more kind of complex way and set up with influencers, but at the same time, it's also possible doing that through affiliate channel. So I keep talking about this affordability factor within the channel. If you think about, you know, a brand would need to spend something around 10 to 15,000 for a 30-minute ad on TV. With 30, yeah, not even at peak hours, plus the production time, production costs. And then for the same budget of 10,000, you can get a very comprehensive package on one of the most visited websites in the UK, where people are, you know, super loyal to these publishers, and they are keep coming back to discover the new brands. And another thing about it is that you will see the results right away. It could be that you will get the increase in visitors, increase in conversions. There is this support, of course, of your brand equity, and it's just a very while it seems like a complicated channel, it actually can be very straightforward as long as you understand what are your objectives and what it is you are trying to achieve and how you want to scale. There are networks and agencies who can kind of gear your strategy towards it and suggest kind of the first steps, action points, and then sky's the limit, really.
Okay, thank you, Alona. And Richard, just on that, then, thinking about it from more of a global perspective, what does the future hold? I mean, for kind of SME brands that are looking to scale outside of the UK, is it a very different market in the UK to others? What have you sort of seen kind of working across our other markets?
Yeah, interesting. I mean, going back to the point about the SMEs or big brands, the thing about affiliate is that it's a pretty level playing field. You don't have to be a big brand. If you've got products that people want to represent and sell, then you're going to do well. And if you offer the right commissions, and if you get the right conversion rates, and if you deliver the products you're selling on time in the way that you said you're going to do it, and you build the trust up, then it doesn't matter who you are. You can be a mom and pop business. You can be build baking stuff at home. There's all sorts of things you can be. You don't need to be a big brand. And that doesn't just include the UK market. That's, of course, it's the world. Webgains as a network it covers every corner of the world. We have plenty of brands and product owners that start in one country and then expand into many others. If you look at things like the nutritional supplements or CBD or something along those lines, it's pretty easy as long as you've got a distribution network for you to start in the UK and then go eastern towards Europe or west towards the US or even to Australia or to the APAC region. We can easily set those programs up as long as the stuff can be delivered. If you look at things like online education, if I think about the online university courses that you're seeing now, or we've got a bunch of vocational courses as providers as clients, that stuff transfers into international markets so easily. And you can be selling online courses within an hour, and you can have affiliates representing you for pretty good commercials. So yeah, I mean, the thing is, you can, if you know what you're doing and you take the advice of your account manager, or even look at some of the academy courses, there are pretty easy steps to getting what you're producing or creating to a global audience literally within hours.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think you're right. It's really amazing as a channel, isn't it? How it kind of opens up opportunities. And I know, Jessi, you and I have spoken about this at great length, especially with everything that's happened over the last year, and people losing their jobs, and a lot of the sort of trials and tribulations that people are facing. And actually, if you want to, there are opportunities for you to kind of open up kind of new business ventures, to get yourself up off the ground sort of fairly quickly, and to look at, as you said, even going into our academy and kind of doing a bit of research. There are opportunities for people if they want to get a business started. What for you, if somebody was looking to start a program, what for you makes an affiliate program successful? What are the building blocks? How can you get the foundations in place? What's the first step?
Well, we do get applications from some brands who haven't even launched their website yet. So I would say you do need to have those first few steps in place first. Affiliate marketing is not a magic bullet that's just going to make your business or validate your business idea. You do need to have that first step first. You need to have your brand out there. You need to kind of understand what your best products are and what your product market fit is and where your ideal clients are, all that good stuff, right? It's not just going to be provided for you. But as soon as you kind of have that basic in place, those basics in place, then publishers can really, and your affiliate program can really help you kind of speed things up. So you need to first of all, join with an open mind, and we really kind of see the best results for brands who are really willing to just try every single publisher that they can think of, or who applies for their program, work patiently and sort of, you know, see what works for them. It's just like with everything, like what's the publisher that's really the best for you. It's not always the big ones. You can sometimes find a really perfect match from some of the smaller publishers. So there can be really fruitful, you know, connections to be made on that level. And then another thing which is a little bit different, I think, with affiliate channel compared with, say, PPC, for example, is that it takes quite a bit of work, you know, upfront. So you need to find those publishers, you need to establish the relationships, you need to know kind of what makes the publishers tick so that they want to actually feature you. And then you will start to see the results, and they become really robust, and they can really sort of grow, you know, to great results. But we sometimes see that, you know, brands come and they sort of expect that after a month they're going to have like this massive, you know, explosion, when they haven't even like recruited, you know, that many publishers, or haven't really kind of tested, just like with every other marketing channel. So it's really a little bit of that patience and hard work up front can really then kind of help you see like amazing result at the back end.
Yeah, thank you, Jessi. That's very wise words indeed, and good to kind of keep us all on track. But I think you talked there a little bit about those connections, and I know you've already talked about our discovery platform, and kind of making those smart connections is absolutely vital to that. And I know at Webgains we invest really heavily into our technology, but also into our talent. Alona, you know, in your mind, we've talked a lot about this, I know, over the last few months. You know, the concept of brands, what does that mean, and the passion that we all have for kind of data and intelligence in the business. But, you know, is affiliate marketing about the technology, or is it about the people? Can we distinguish between the two?
You know, when I started in digital marketing, I was a graduate. I think studied social psychology, never really done the pure social psychology, let's say, but just randomly kind of appeared in digital marketing and tapped into all the different channels. The thing which really attracted me to affiliates is it's this combination of data and people relationships. It's, you know, some might say that PPC could be considered a little bit boring because it's just about the setting up the campaigns and then kind of tweaking the bids and all these things. Affiliates in this sense is less predictable, but at the same time there are much more opportunities which you can explore because of that. And this is the, I think, human part of it. Like if you look at the publisher mix, which we are seeing and which we are inviting year after year, we have so many examples where an absolutely new affiliate type comes, well, in fact, absolutely new business model comes into play, and they try it and they try to find this market fit through affiliate channel because it's such a flexible platform to do it, because you can meet many brands, but at the same time all those many brands are able to test absolutely new kind of softwares or solutions through affiliate channel, again without necessarily spending massive budgets or investing a lot into kind of risky, perhaps unknown solutions. So it is a combination, and it's first, I guess begins with relationships, but then it's supported by a lot of data and a lot of insights which we are monitoring kind of hourly, daily, weekly.
Yeah, I guess it's that balance, isn't it? It's not one without the other. And I think, Jessi, you touched on something really interesting there about, you know, just testing things out, but having the data then to validate the results and refining your program is obviously kind of really vital to ultimately to success. And we've seen, you know, we talked earlier today about, you know, how kind of exposed retail can be as an industry. We only have to look at what's going on in the Suez Canal right now with that container load of product that's, you know, desperately trying to find its way into people's homes and gardens. I'm sure there's a lot of garden furniture that's destined for the UK right now, that's stuck there. But equally, we've got some amazing success stories when things do work well, and we've only got to look at some of our own, client base in terms of the lounge, which is an astonishing kind of story. DB and indeed sort of Social Chain, the conversation you had, I know, with Stephen Bartlett during our Transform series last year, Richard. Those kind of recent success stories in the industry, how much can be attributed to the affiliate channel, do you think? It's such a great kind of...
Yeah, it's a really good question, and also three really good examples there of brands that were they weren't even in existence 5, 6, 7 years ago. I've been at Webgains nearly 5 years, and these guys would have been starting up at then, and now all of a sudden 4 years later they're global powerhouses. I mean, there's a number of these things you see, and they're going through flotations and everything else, or being bought and sold for hundreds of millions of pounds, dollars, and euros. It just highlights how quickly, if you've got a good product set into a good market that's growing, and you know what you're doing, then you can make $1 billion business in a few years. It's absolutely amazing. The thing about affiliate is that it isn't a startup thing. If you're literally getting off the ground, it's pretty tricky. It's an accelerant. You need to be there. It's a scale up. It's not really a startup mechanism. And yes, PPC is very important, and it works hand in hand very well with affiliate. The big difference is affiliate is more passive. You need to sort of put the hard work in, and then watch as you. It's like sowing seeds. You watch as everything grows before you. That is quite aligned to some of these highly aggressive and ambitious businesses, like Lounge is a good one. Lounge Underwear, we just started working with them. They were already in place. They'd already done a great job of working out who is their target market, working with influencers to help them promote their brand, working very hard on the distribution systems, working very hard on their actual products themselves. And then they realized that they actually thought, well, what's the next step for us? Where can we go? How big can we make this? And they've plugged into Webgains, and we've just seen an absolutely massive boom in them from day one, because it was already set there, but then they allowed these affiliates to come in and help them grow. And of course, everyone wins, because the affiliate makes money while the brand makes money, and we're there to make those connections happen and make sure everything gets paid on time, and all the back office and everything else. So the affiliate has a massively important role to play in that big jump from startup to established business, because if people trust what you're doing, you just have to reach more people, and affiliates a really good way of reaching more people without too much money. PPC is great, and yes, of course, and SEM and Google AdWords and all those kind of things, paid search, because you are delving into the world of people searching. It's an intent-driven marketing channel. People are actually looking for something to buy. Affiliate tends to be we do have that, but it also tends to be much more harmonic. So if somebody's reading about a subject or topic within a publishing area, and it just kind of pops up and says, oh yeah, actually it is quite, I am interested in this. I'm not necessarily searching for it, but there's a kind of a bit longer burn. We work with a couple of brands. There's one, I won't say the name, but it's like the world's biggest toy and brick company, and there's many clicks between the first discovery and then the final transaction. We're talking 4 or 5 clicks, or maybe even a day or so, when people go, oh, actually, yes, there is this thing in this brand that I can build in this modeling brick thing, and then they sort of delve and delve and delve, and we push it all along the chain, and then they buy, and then the commission gets paid out to the affiliates. There's a big role to play, and it's a fantastic. If you put the hours in, I think Jessi was saying earlier, if you set Alona, if you set these things up properly, and you work with the right people, and you spend time really planning properly, then the ROI is immense. I mean, you're talking 12, 13, 20 times of ROI, whereas in some of other channels you're hopeful to get 2 or 3 times. It's very common for us in affiliate to get 20 times your initial investment. And the great thing is, because those things are set forever or for a long time, those relationships can bear fruit for many, many years. And we see that all the time. We've got, I don't know, let's say we've got 250,000 affiliates on our network, and maybe at any one time you're talking about 80,000 every year will be driving revenues, and then there's a kind of really hardcore of 3,000 that make the most money. But it's the big long tail of people that make you the most money over time. It's just making sure you've got a good portfolio of affiliates signed up to your platform, and it's literally like a sailing ship. You unfurl the sails and you wait for the wind to blow, and when the demand comes, you really start to go. So it's a lovely business model for an aspiring business. It isn't either or. You should have a marketing mix. You should do a number of different things. But I mean, if you have, say, anything between 50 and 200 affiliates attached to your program, then you're going to be, whatever happens in the world, there'll be somebody out there promoting your brand for you.
Yeah, thank you, Richard. Yeah, it's definitely not a one size fits all, is it? It's and I guess that's where some of this complexity comes from, and people's concerns about it, because they don't know what they don't know. But that's why we're here, to kind of help them. And I guess I'm going to have to wrap up this session, because we've kind of had a really good kind of whistle stop through the market, and hopefully open people's eyes to the opportunity that it affords us. But
the other thing that I was just going to say is that it isn't a big commitment. For a couple of £100 a month, you can get going. You can set your stall out and just see what buys. It's a brilliant test and learn environment to try. And you don't know if you've got, let's say you've got 100 products out there. You might think, oh yes, I've got this star product ABC, but then it's the XYZ one that actually goes for it, and that's what sells. It's a great way of really working out what the market thinks about your products, and you only pay for it when you've sold it. So that's the best thing of all. You're not putting in marketing investment up front. You only pay for it, the commissions, once it's been sold. So it's brilliant for a cash flow.
Yeah, fantastic. Great. Well, thank you all very, very much. I think we've all got a lot more to say on the matter, haven't we? Which is fantastic. We've just literally scratched the surface today, and opened hopefully a number of different conversations that people can join us for during Webgains Accelerate this spring. And so if you do want to join us for more features, please of course join us to learn how to get featured on high traffic websites, and kind of build your brand awareness and discover where new audiences are hiding. And please do get in touch if we can help you in any way, shape or form, and we'll look forward to seeing you throughout Accelerate, and indeed in the future. Many thanks.
Thanks, Natasha.
Thank you.
Thank you, Natasha.
Thank you.